Om. 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 Sairam. Just to recollect where we were last week, we were reading and discussing how the study of the kshetra itself. As Swami says, we should understand the inquiry into the kshetra and the kshetrajna will grant us the knowledge which we need. So we discuss how do we study the kshetra. I think that's what most of our discussions was. So I'll stop here and I'll ask sister to read the passage so that we can continue the discussion.
Krishna then relapsed into silence, but Arjuna, who is the representative of all mankind on the battlefield between the higher and the lower impulses, prodded him further. Krishna, who are those who experience both these, the destruction of grief and the attainment of bliss? Is it the jivi or the deha? Please elucidate. Krishna replied, Arjuna, the kshetra or body is associated with the gunas or attributes, tamas, rajas, and sattva. So, the jivi, when in contact with it, and when it identifies itself with the body, imagines that it is experiencing grief and joy, which are the consequences of those gunas. The Purusha, or the kshetrajna, has no real relationship with the gunas. He is just a witness. When iron is in contact with fire, then it has the power of scalding. But it is not iron that scalds, it is the fire. Through contact with Prakriti, Purusha appears as the doer and experiencer. Therefore, it is not proper to infer that the jivi is having grief and joy by the very fact of its occupying the body, which is the vehicle of the gunas. The earth sustains and helps the seed to grow into a tree or to decline. It is the guna of the earth that causes these two. So also the seed of Jiva Tattvam grows and blossoms into Brahma Tattvam in the body, which is the earth principle. Just as manure and water are essential for the tree to bloom and bear fruit, Satyam, truth, Shantam, peace, Samam, internal self-control, and Dhammam, external self-control, are essential for the blossoming of the spirit into Atmic wisdom. The attributes or gunas of Prakriti make it assume multifarious forms. Think of this one point, then the whole problem will become clear. Man is happy at one time, miserable at another. He is afraid one moment and courageous at another. Why? Because he is shaped so by the gunas. Do you say no? Then how can you explain these changes? They alone can transform man from one phase to another like this.
Okay, thank you, Kagyan. So I think just let's go back to the previous slide if it's okay. That the question is there at least. So we had discussed inquiring into the kshetra. We have knowing about the nature of the kshetrajna, ananda of bliss is acquired. I think that we had not discussed this ananda is also. I think that those two sentences we did not spend much time. And then we go into the question from Arjuna. He's asking who is the one who experiences both these, and that is the destruction of grief and the attainment of bliss. Swami, there's a question from Arjuna: is it the jivi or the deha So that's the question. If everyone feels that we continue the next slide and come back, that's also okay. But I thought we'll read the Telugu also. I think for this we have already read the Telugu, I think. Maybe I will read the Telugu for the next section. Maniant is not here, so whatever I say, you'll have to live with whatever I say as far as translation goes. But let's see. Sitaram is also not there. Okay, so let's read. I will just read the next. So he's asking for the detail. So the question, I will just read the question. Krishna, dukkha nivritti, ananda prapti ani antre. ఇవి రెండును అనుభవించు వారెవరు జీవుడా లేక క్షేత్రమైన దేహమా వివరములు తెలుపును అన్నాడు. So this is the question from Arjuna. Krishna, this destruction of dukkha or sorrow and ananda prapti, which is the attainment of ananda, experiencing ananda, these two, who is the one who is experiencing it? Is it the jiva, or is it the deham, which is the field, kshetra? Please explain. That's how Arjuna asked the question, and then now Krishna is starting to respond. Arjuna, క్షేత్రము గుణములతో చేరినది. The field, the kshetra, is joined with the gunas, has gunas present. కనుక దానితో చేరుటచే జీవుడు ఆయా స్థితులను అనుభవించుచున్నాడని తలంతురే కాని. So when the jiva is connected with this, at whichever state he is, he experiences those that will be has to be experienced there. Thus thinking, కానీ పురుషునకును ఈ గుణ వికారములకును ఏమాత్రము సంబంధము లేదు. Saying, so there is absolutely no relationship between the Purusha and these gunas, or the changes which result in the gunas. Okay. So just to, the jiva, Swami says, experiences it based on the sthiti, the state in which he is, because of his connection to the gunas. But the Purusha, he is beyond the changes due to gunas, and there's absolutely no relationship.
Sorry, Uncle, can you just, so the first part is saying the kshetra is joined with the gunas, and when they...
Kshetramu gunamulato cherinadi. So the kshetra is enjoined, with the gunas. Okay, it's present with the gunas. Kanuka, because of due to that, danito cherutache, when the jiva connects to the kshetra. Okay, aya stitulanu. So he experiences various states of experience. Anubhavinchu chunnadani. So he experiences various states of the gunas and the changes of the gunas. That's what Swami is referring to. Okay. Talanture kani. Thus people think. Swami says, who is telling who? Thinking. Kani పురుషనకును ఈ గుణ వికారములకును, that is for the Purusha and for these changes of the gunas, ఏ మాత్రము సంబంధము లేదు. There's absolutely no relationship. Okay. అతను సాక్షిభూతుడు. He is a witness. అగ్నితో చేరిన ఇనుమునకు దహించు శక్తియుండును. the iron piece which connects to the fire is capable of burning anything. Okay. అయితే దహించు శక్తి అగ్నిదే కాని ఇనుముది కాదు కదా. So the real power of burning is actually from the fire, but not of that of the iron piece. ప్రకృతి సంసర్గముతో పురుషునిలో భూతత్వము ఆరోపింతురు. So the thing is, because of the contact with the prakriti in the purusha, this bhotatva is actually aropitra, means it manifests. దీనిని విచారించిన గుణములకు నిలయమైన దేహములో నివసించుచుటచే జీవునకు కూడను సుఖ దుఃఖములు కలవని భావించుట సంజసము. So he's saying, if you inquire this further, because the jiva is living in the body, which is also the residence of all the gunas, he experiences the sukha and dukkha, the happiness and sorrow, because they become present for the jiva also. That is the proper way to understand it. కలవని భావించుట సంజసము కాదని తేలుచున్నది. So thinking that just because the jiva experiences because it's present in the body, thinking that jiva also has this sukha dukkha, thinking this is actually not right. So the thing is, jiva is experiencing it only because it's present in the body, but by itself, to think that jiva is experiencing that, no. నాటిన విత్తనము పూర్ణ వృక్షమై వికాసము నందుటకు క్షీణించుటకు భూమి యొక్క గుణము ఎట్ల ఆధారమో అలాగునే దేహమను భూమిలోనే జీవతత్వమును బీజము బ్రహ్మతత్వము నొందవలసి యుండును. So Swami is saying, just the way seed which is planted in the earth becomes a large tree, it grows into a large tree, and also to be destroyed, the qualities of the bhumi, the earth, is the support or the cause. In the same way, for alagune, in this field of body, the jiva tattva, the principle of the jiva, the seed, attains the final state of brahma tattva. It grows into brahma tattva. So the body becomes the support for that process of growth of the jiva into brahma. వృక్షము అభివృద్ధి గాంచుటకు ఎరువు నీరు మొదలగు పోషణలు ఎట్లు అవసరమో, just the way for the tree to grow into big one, the manure, water, such nourishment are needed. అటులనే సత్యము శాంతము శమదమాదులు ఆత్మాభివృద్ధికి సాధనములు. In the same way, Satya, the truth, Shanta, the peace, Shama and Dhamma, the internal and external controls, disciplines, Atma, for the growth of the Atman, they are essential or support. ప్రకృతి అనేక విధములైన రూపములు దాల్చుటకు, for the nature, creation and the nature, for it to take various forms. దాని అందుండు గుణ భేదములే కారణములు. So the gunas which are present in it are the cause for all these various forms of creation or nature. ఒక విషయమును యోచించుడు. Consider one thing. Think about one thing. స్పష్టము కాగలదు. Then it will become very clear. ఏమనా మానవుడు ఒకపరి సంతోషముగా, ఒకపరి దుఃఖముగా. What you have to look into is the man, at one time he is happy, at another time he is sad. మరొకపరి భయముగా, వేరొకపరి ధైర్యముగా. At sometimes he is scared, at sometimes he is courageous. వివిధ వృత్తులు కలిగి ప్రవర్తించుచున్నాడు. So he has various manifestations of states, and thus he is living his life, or he is conducting himself. దీనికి గుణముల యొక్క మార్పే కదా. So for this, the changes in the gunas are they the other reasons, are the cause? కాదందురా, or do you say no? మారేమి గుణములు కాక మారేమియు మానవుని మార్చలేదు. Only the gunas, without the gunas, there will not be any changes in man. మానవుని అందలి త్రిగుణములైన సత్వరజసు తమ. Have you read this, Kalyani?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I think I'll stop here. Sorry. I think we have read. Okay, they alone can transform. I think that's. I hope my translation was not too confusing. I will stop here. If there are questions, so anyone, any comments, please discuss. So I think a couple of things. I think so Swami has clearly stated. So I think the question of Arjuna was, who is the one who experiences? So Swami is telling the cause for the sorrow or all the changes is the gunas which are present in the body. So it looks as if neither the body nor the jivi is actually experiencing sukha and dukkha. He's saying it's not proper to infer that the jivi is having grief or joy. Okay. That's the sense I got, because that itself is the illusion. Illusion happens because we identify with the body or the mind. We think we are suffering or we are happy, or that's the way Swami said. But that's because of the gunas to which we identify. Because Swami says, because of its association with the body, there is some experience of the Telugu, it's Swami saying, his sort of experiences. I think it's not. The first గుణములతో చేరినది కనుక దానితో చేరుటచే, when he joins the body, జీవుడు ఆయా స్థితులను అనుభవించుచున్నాడని తలంతురే కానీ, because when he joins, when he is completely connected to the body, we think that the jiva is experiencing. He said the purusha is actually not experiencing. తలంతురే కానీ పురుషునకు ఈ గుణ వ్యవహారమునకు ఏమాత్రము సంబంధం. There is absolutely no relationship between the, because for the purusha, that's what Swami is saying.
So is Swami saying that the GV appears to, or it's mistaken into thinking that he is experienced?
Yes.
It's definitely the kshetra is not experiencing anything, right?
Yeah, Swami just ignored that topic itself, that, that because the kshetra is kshetra, it will not experience. It is jiva who seem to be experiencing, or we think that jiva is experiencing, but Swami says actually is witness only.
So when he says talanture, that means it's the jiva thinking that he is experiencing, or?
Yes.
Pani means like but, or?
Pani means but, yes.
And when he says atanu sakshi bhutudu, that he's referring
to he. Atanu means Tamil avan. He is witness.
He meaning the purusha or the jivi?
Purusha. See, the topic, the jiva itself is, when purusha, the aspect of purusha which is connected to the body becomes jiva. Okay, but anyone would like to share anything? So Swami is giving the explanation of the iron piece. Swami, when the iron piece is in the fire, that also burns. That can burn anything, but it's not its natural nature. Because where it is present, it is just exhibiting that quality of that. Just the way jiva also will express the qualities of the gunas of the body because it is present there. But in reality, its nature is not that. When you remove it from the fire, it doesn't have it. Okay, I think that's the sense. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Brother, so that is the way, again, we are going back here. The GV now became witness here, okay? Yes. So GV means when when it's identified with the body, it's the Atma called GV. Am I right?
Yes.
When it's identified with the body, where the gunas, but GV is not experiencing, because we call GV only when that Atma identify with the body. Am I right? Is that the way we are looking at it? And GV thinks that they are enjoying the grief and joy. That's not only the body. When it's identified with the thing only, it says we are saying like that.
Yes, because in the next line, sister, in Telugu, at least Swami is saying, Prakriti samsargamuto Purushinilo bhoktritvamu aropinturu. When the Purusha is joined with the Prakriti, this bhoktritva, the enjoyership, that quality is actually appearing.
Is it Bhoktritva or I have Bhutva?
It should be Bhoktritva.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't come out properly. It's Bhoktritva. Bhoktritva means enjoyship.
Brother, you're saying for the last sentence, the explanation, where's the iron is not skilled, is the
Before
fire
that,
through the
just before
contact.
that, what does English say just before that?
It says through contact with Prakriti, Purusha
Yeah,
appears
that is
the
the one.
doer and the experiencer.
Yeah, okay, that's one. Yes, Sister Anandi.
Sairam, and if the jiva or the soul seems to be the experiencer, we know that now we fully understood that Kshetra is not the experiencer. The maybe there's something else. It's the doer and the experiencer. Then how come we have the karmic theory and those things comes into the play of the human life? Because we are not the doer, we are not the experiencer. It goes somewhere else. Not even soul. Whatever the spark of the divine attached to the body, we always call Jivatma or soul. Even Swami is telling here, Jiva seems to be or appears to be as the doer and the experiencer. So that the actual doer and the experiencer, someone else. If if those things go to another the entity, then why we have to be punished with all these karmic theory and it's come with us all the way, and it takes our 1,000 years of life, with karma and those things. How that will be connected here?
Okay, sister, good question. If everything is an appearance illusion, then why are we still suffering? Is that the question?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So I will open it up for discussion. See, so why is this appearance causing problem? And we're stuck, we're being punished, as our sister says. Anyone who would like to share? Yes, I said.
So I would place this as this analogy we discussed a long time ago of the screen. This is a movie screen, and on the screen we have every projection done. It can be of a fire burning or a river flowing, anything of an earthquake, disaster, suffering, happiness, everything is projected on the screen. But the screen by itself is neither burnt when the fire burns. It is neither wet when the rivers flow. It is neither touched by the happiness or the sadness that is projected on it. It remains the screen throughout. The problem comes is when the screen starts thinking that it is the fire, then it burns. It is the water, it gets wet. It is going through happiness. It is going through sorrow. So in terms of the screen thinking that it is the projection, that is where the whole thing of karma, suffering, 1,000 years, everything comes. But by itself, if the screen feels I am the screen and everything that is coming onto me is just a projection, I by myself, or I am beyond the gunas, I'm attributeless, then it stays in that sense of absolute. Because the mind comes, the projection comes. And because projection comes, everything with the gunas comes. And because everything with the gunas comes, I think we continue as the jiva entangled in that whole thing. Right.
Thank you, Sai Satish. So who can turn off the movie?
It's so good. The movie is so good that nobody wants to turn it off. It's playing on and playing.
So, sister, so the answer we got is that it's a movie. The movie will run for that many hours, which is supposed to run. But you turn it off, then you're no problem. Everything is back to normal. We don't have to look at the. See, the Swami says people go to films, theater, and they cry. Some people sob so much, as if they. But actually, there's no one is suffering. On the screen, there's no one suffering. The screen is not suffering. The projection is not suffering. But somebody is looking at it and crying for 3 hours. If the movie runs for 1,000 lifetimes, then they will be crying for 1,000 lifetimes. The person who knows, oh, this is just projection, some story showing up, will sit through the 3 hours smiling. They will say, oh, that actor was acting well. Oh, this actor was not acting well. They will do some analysis and come back. But then most of the people who sit at the movie theater will cry and cry. And then they will laugh and they'll be happy. And they will wish that somebody wins, somebody loses. All these ideas come. Why are they suffering? Because they bought the ticket and they're going and sitting and they forget that it is just projection. This is the lot of everyone. So that's.
Are we able to, even if at home, are we able to switch on and off, or maybe someone else tracking us to the movie theater, Didi? Maybe then we don't know how to come out of from that movie theater. Someone has to pull us, firmly, bring it out, or otherwise we will be watching, Didi, because we don't have the capacity to come out from that movie theater. Maybe once we trapped, maybe uh, now I am thinking that in the name of children, maybe spouses, parents, or maybe grandchildren, in that way, we would be nailed it in the theater, harder to come out. Maybe someone forcefully, they uh, pull us out. Only then we would be able to come out from that, the theater. The maybe.
I think, even if we are caught and we can't leave the theater, we have to watch the movie. If we keep on reminding ourselves, this is just story, just nothing, nothing really is happening. If we keep on reminding, we will be not only looking at the movie and smiling, we will also look at the people looking at the movie crying also, and we'll enjoying that also. So reminding ourselves, this is just a cinema. There's no one suffering. Nothing is happening. In reality, it's all just a drama. I think if we keep on reminding, I think that's all we can do. If we cannot leave the theater. So I think that's my thing. I will open it up for others to see whether they have any ideas, suggestions.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, Brother Dasan.
Yes, Saram, brother. Because here it says the three gunas is belong to Setra. So reflection of the gunas only, we are finding pleasure and the pain. So Jivatma, we can say instead of Jiva, you can say man Atma, but people used to that one, Jivatma. Creatures inside the creatures also same Atma, inside the man also same Atma. I don't know why, people confuse with the Jiva mean human. So so that is not going to be affected, that's what Swami is saying. But the three gunas, suppose if I have something rajas guna, then I am attached to that thing. So I had to face all those consequences. If you have sattvic nature, then you are not going to have, you think everything is delusion. Then you are not going to have pain. So the pain and pleasure because of the three gunas, because that belong to the Kshetra. Kshetrajnan knows I am not affected with anything. I know I am Satyam Sivam Sundaram. So this is my understanding, brother. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share anything? So I think maybe we can go to the next point which Swami is saying. See, in the Jiva Tattvam state, we will get sometimes entangled in the gunas. From that, Swami says we have to grow into Brahma Tattva. So the Jiva, by nature of where the state of development, because it is still young sapling or a seed or whatever, it's not yet Brahman. It has not fully realized its Brahma Tattva. Swami is saying how we grow, and he's saying the manure and water needed to make that process. Swami has given four principles for us to practice. With that, Swami says we can get to that Brahma Tattva stage. So we can discuss that if anyone.
In the the previous sentence, last sentence, it says Prakriti, that one. So because of the contact with Prakriti in the Purusha, the Bhoktritva manifests. Is that correct?
Yeah, Swami is saying, because of its, Swami is saying, Prakriti samsargamuto, because of the contact and association with Prakriti. Purushinilo, so on the Purusha, or in the Purusha, Bhoktritvamu aropinturu. That appearance of enjoyship is projected on the Purusha.
So more on the Purusha, not in the Purusha.
In the Purusha, on the Purusha. Purushinilo is the word. Both in and on is okay. Both can be. So one would see the Purusha is experiencing, or we will get a delusion that the Purusha is experiencing because of the association with the Prakriti.
So you said the Bhoktritva is kind of projected onto the Purusha?
Yes, aropinturu means it's manifest, so is appearing.
Okay.
To see it, aropinturu means it appears.
And Swami just mentions Bhoktritva, not Kartritva.
He didn't say Kartritva, he just said Bhoktritva. But I think it's implied. Okay. Once you have Kartritva, you will have Bhoktritva. Okay. So it implies Kartritva. I think that's why the doer is mentioned in the translation. But in Telugu, Swami has not mentioned it.
Brother, is this referring the Prakriti as a three gunas here? Yes.
Prakriti is nature.
Nature.
So it is
nature is, yeah. is equal to 3 gunas too, right? That's where. Okay, thanks. Brother, there is another one, Swami saying the manual, water manual. For that, he has mentioned about the internal self-control and external self-control.
Yes.
Is that the enthusiasm he meant by that? Controlling the senses?
Yes, Shama and Dhamma.
Yeah.
External self-control is sense control.
Yeah.
Internal control is mind control.
Oh, internal mind. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Shama Dhamadi Shat Sampatti. I think we have discussed that also. And Sandhya Nivarani, if anyone remembers. The sixth wealth of a sadhaka, Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, like that, that's 6. But Swami is just mentioning Shama and Dhamma.
He says Adulu, so does that include the rest?
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Samadhamadulu. So it's Samadhamadulu Shat Sampatti. There is 6th wealth of a sadhaka. Revision Sandhya Nivarani.
Brother, if you don't mind, can we understand from the first paragraph onwards, like one by one to come to that point?
Yeah, sure.
Then it would be clear. Thank you.
So we have already looked at Arjuna Kshetra, the body is associated with the gunas. So the jiva is when in contact, when it identifies itself with the body, imagines that it is experiencing grief or joy. And consequence of these gunas. Purusha or the Kshetrajna has no real relationship. He is just a witness. When iron is in contact, we have discussed all that. Okay, so we'll go to the second paragraph. Therefore, it's not proper to infer that the jiva is having grief or joy by the very fact that it's occupying the body, which is the vehicle of the gunas. Then Swami gives the example of earth sustains the seed. Just the way the kshetra and the body also sustains the jiva tattva and helps it to grow into the tree. And then he says, what are the things which are needed for that? Anyone who would like to discuss?
So in a way, Swami saying the GV needs the kshetra because the kshetra is like the earth that allows the GV to attain Brahma Tattva.
Yes.
Which is interesting because in the previous section where we were discussing the iron and the fire, it seems like when the iron is in contact with the fire, then it becomes like this hot iron that can burn.
Yes.
So it seems like the contact with the prakriti is what causes you to have, all the troubles and the sukha dukkha. So it seems like if you don't contact prakriti, you can remain more unaffected, without contacting prakriti. But here Swami is saying the body itself, the kshetra, is what helps the jivi to grow.
Yeah, so in this context, Swami has given another analogy. Swami says, if you plant a seed in the soil and it is inside in the mud or, the clay or the soil, then there's water. But actually the seed does not become a part of the soil. It does not become part of the water. It retains its original nature. Because it retains original nature, it is able to grow into a tree. If it becomes soil, it cannot grow into a tree. If it dissolves itself into the water also, it will not. So the thing is, in this world, when we live, Prakriti, we should retain our Jiva Tattva, Purushatva. If we do not, then we are not getting entangled into the soil or the water. We are only taking sustenance from them, but we don't become that. We are not unduly influenced by that. This is another place Swami has given. I think it's one of the discourses which we had studied. Swami is talking about this. So the thing is, so same way a jiva also we should know what is the process of growing into a tree. So for that we should not get muddled up with in the mud, or the water. Again, the lotus analogy also comes. The lotus is so pure and clean, even though it grows from the marsh or the. So I think that's what Swami would say. So it's needed for the blossoming of the flower, but it should know what it is, what the main goal or the purpose should not be forgotten. And how do we do that? And that's why Swami is giving the manure and the other nourishment which we need, so that our goal should be to become Brahma Tattva, not to become Prakriti. We should not start behaving like Prakriti, even though we are in the Prakriti. So that also Swami has explained. And that's why Swami is telling, hey, don't get mixed up with the soil. Know that you are a seed. Okay, Bijam Mam, my seed you are. Become that. I think I hope anyone else would like to contribute to this.
So, Sairam, brother.
Yes.
So, iron and the fire. So, I am thinking like iron is the Atma. So, even if you put the fire, we can feel the fire only, not the iron is hot. Iron. If you take the Atma and the body, that body has three gunas. So that so we have to, in order to self-realization, we have to see within us. So if we have tamas, we have to move to rajas, from rajas to sattvic. So we have to do a lot of sadhanas. If we have to use the body, if you don't have the body, we cannot move tamas to rajas, rajas to sattvic. Then it's the same thing in that seeds. Once you put it, we have to put manure and the water in order to grow. So here, if you want to realize ourselves, the Atma who is seated within us, use the body and move to sattvic nature, then you can experience yourself. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Anyone else would like to share anything?
Saramana, I was just adding to the analogies you had in place of the seed and the lotus thing. It's more like the boat can be in the water cannot get into the boat, because you need that boat to swim across the ocean of samsara. So as long as the boat is kept intact with no water seepage coming into that boat, then it can help one go through. But then slowly, if we do allow the water to come in, that is where the sense is. If it is outward facing, then slowly you have the water come in, which ultimately drowns the boat, and then we get lost in Prakriti. And also, if we go back to that dictum where we have satsangatve nissangatve nirmohatvam, so that part of good company is definitely moving away from bad company to good company is one thing, but then you also have nissangat, like you have satsangatve nissangatvam, so that part of absolutely being not in the company of literally anyone, which means we are only in the company of the self. And that is where I think the less and less of the prakriti comes in, and being more and more uh, having that contemplation on the self, so that the self ultimately manifests. So just wanted to add to that.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you. Anyone? I think we are okay with Satyam, Shantam, Shamam, Damam. Swami has, in Telugu, Swami said, Samadama, etc. Okay. Anyone who would like to?
When Swami says Atma Bhi Vriddhi Ki, what is that just mean Atma for the growth of the Atma?
Yeah, Abhivriddhi means growth, yes.
Oh, okay.
Development, growth.
Brother Sai Ram,
Yes,
is it
sister.
okay for you to touch on that the attributes of gunas of Prakriti make it assume manifestations form? That's mean I didn't
Which one?
understand that
Which
last sentence. I know the attributes of gunas.
The attributes or gunas of Prakriti make it assume multifarious forms. So I'm saying the gunas
That's
make
how.
the Prakriti. Pardon?
No, go ahead, please. Sorry,
No,
brother.
Swami is saying different gunas, because of the qualities of each of the guna, Prakriti takes on various different forms.
We think differently.
Pardon?
Based on our gunas, we think differently, right? Is that the way you think?
No, it's I think later on Swami is talking about the different qualities of the gunas, sister, in the same chapter. So I will not go there.
Okay.
But Swami is saying there are gunas, which is sattva, rajas, tamas. Then what happens is there are also combinations of these also. Rajas and tamas together, different degrees of tamas, different degrees of. So based on that, different people, they exhibit. See, for example, we may get angry, we may get sad, we may get afraid. Actually, each of those qualities are because of some guna taking on more imbalanced working of the gunas. Because the gunas are always in a state of imbalance. Sometimes the rajas will be high, so then the person will be very aggressive. Then the rajas may be lower, then they will be scared. Then rajas also can make someone angry. If sattvic qualities come, then the person will become calm. So these are the different forms which everyone assumes.
Okay. Thank you.
Our actions, our words, all that takes on different gunas. The Swami is discussed it down, sometimes he's courageous, at another times he's afraid, sometimes he's miserable, sometimes he's happy. These are the different forms, sister. Okay. I'll stop here. Kalyani was saying something.
Yeah, so that sentence Swami saying guna beda mule karan. So
Yes.
the differences or guna beda means
Differences.
The differences in the gunas are the cause?
Yeah, you can say changes in the gunas also. The differences in the gunas also cause. Swami in some places he has used the word vikara, guna vikara. Some places he has used the word guna beda. But I think they are similar in the meaning, the way it's used.
Sairam brother, this the tamas, rajas and sattva, maybe is the three brothers in the Ramayana would be a good example for maybe Ravana, Kumbhakarna and Vibhishana. Those three the characters, it really adds for this one. Even Ravana, maybe depending on his rajas and the sattvic nature, he was a great soul before he got into the capturing Sita and those things. That's why, depending on which the attribute it's in the at a point in time, which attribute goes takes a higher level or something. Maybe the gunas or our behaviors also would change. Maybe I believe this part is very, very helpful. Even though we think that we are really a sattvic person, time to time, we are our mental, the mental thoughts and our behaviors changes because of the shift in these, the three gunas and the attributes. I believe I like that, the little passage. Thank you, brother.
Yes. Thank you. I think in the next paragraph, Swami is discussing some of these points. If everyone is okay, then we can read on, because I think Swami is continuing and explaining the same concept further.
If the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, are equally balanced, then there will be no change in him. This never happens. It is always out of balance. When one is dominant and the others are dormant, then Prakriti makes him assume many roles. The three gunas represent the three aspects of human nature. Rajoguna is the attachment that brings about desires and creates eagerness to enjoy the objective world that is seen. It breeds desire for physical and heavenly pleasure. Tamoguna cannot grasp the reality, so it misunderstands easily and takes the false to be true. It lands persons in negligence and error. It binds instead of releasing. Sattva guna controls the cause of grief and sorrow, encourages people to follow the path of real joy and happiness. Therefore, being single-pointed and unaffected by either of these three is the basis for purity and steadfastness. Have the glass chimney of the lamp clear. Its light will shine bright. Have a glass that is multicolored. Its light will be dimmed. On the other hand, if the lamp is kept inside a mud pot, the darkness will continue as it was. The lamp is the same, but the container affects its expression. Sattva guna is a lamp that shines clear through the white glass chimney. Rajoguna is the many-colored glass chimney that makes the light dim and poor. And Tamoguna is the mud pot inside which the lamp is totally ineffective. Sattvaguna is Atmajnana. Rajoguna is sullied to some extent, as smoke sullies the chimney and dims the light, and it also agitates the flame of the lamp so that it is not straight and steady. Tamoguna is a suppression of the light, or jnana, that is the very nature of man.
Okay, thank you, Kalyan. Maybe I will read the Telugu. So Swami says, Manamuni andali Trigunamalina Sattva Rajas Tamo Gunamulu Samastitilo Undina. Swami says, in the man, the three gunas of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, if they are on the in equal state or balanced state, Manavani andu etti marpunu radu ledu kalugadu. So in human being, there will not be any change which will come about, or it will not be existent, or it will not be obtained by man. Atlugaaka, మూడు గుణములు చెడరి హెచ్చు తగ్గులు చుండిన తక్కులగుచుండిన ప్రకృతి తన ఏక రూపమును వదలి పలు విధములగు రూపముల కనిపించుచుండును. So he's saying, if the qualities or the gunas are not in balance, they are, helter-skelter. If they are thus present, the prakriti, the nature itself, will give up its oneness or the single form, and it will take on multifarious forms. మూడు గుణములను వేరు వేరు మూడు స్వభావములు కలిగి ఉన్నవి. Each of these three gunas have three different qualities and nature. రజోగుణము ఆశను కలుగజేయు పాశము దృశ్య విషయములందు అనురాగమును కలుగజేయునది. So I'm saying the rajoguna, the quality of rajas, it increases desire and it becomes a bondage. Okay, it binds and it will give you attachment to all the vishayas, sensory objects that one observes, sees. దీనికి ఐహిక సుఖములయందు ఆసక్తి. For this, the pleasures of this world will be very desirable. తమో గుణమునకు నిజ జ్ఞానము తెలియక పోవుటచే, for the quality of tamas, the real knowledge will not be apparent, will not be visible, or will not know it. పోవుటచే ఒక్క వస్తువును మరొక వస్తువుగా తలంచుట. So it confuses one object for another object. జ్ఞానరహితమై అజాగ్రత్తగా బద్ధకముచే వందించుట ఇత్యాది గుణములు కలది. So because of the absence of jnana, wisdom, it will be carelessly, it will get bound by all these gunas. Sattva gunamu dukkha shokadi karanamula anachi. So sattva guna puts out the sorrow and sadness and the cause for these. Sukha sadhanamulaina vishyamulayandu pavartinchuta. That means that is the sensory objects which through our association with them or contact with them, it becomes I think confuses you to think that the world is the sensory objects are the ones which grant us joy or sorrow. I think that's the way I understand. Dukkha shokadi karanamula anachi sukha sadhanamulaina vishyamulandu. Okay, so sattva-guna, okay, sorry, I got it wrong. Sattva-gunamu dukkha shokadi karanamula anachi, it removes or puts out the causes for sorrow and sadness. And sukha sadhanamulaina vishyamulayandu, on the subjects which are the instruments or support for real happiness, it will take us there. Pravartinchuta పై మూడింటి ఏకత్వమే నిర్మలత్వమును ప్రసాదించును. So Swami says the unity of all these three will give us blemishlessness as a gift. Etulana, I think, has that been covered already? No, okay, so yeah, sorry. Etulana oka deepamu nirmalamaina oke రంగు గల గాజు ముక్కపై పెట్టిన దాని. So Swami says how Swami is giving the analogy of a lamp. If one lamp has one colored glass which covers it, దాని తేజస్సు స్వచ్ఛముగా తేజస్సుతో కనిపించడం. If there's a single colored glass which covers it, it will express its brightness properly, fully. అట్లు కాక కొన్ని రంగుల గాజు మొక్కలపై పెట్టిన అది అనేక రంగులుగా తేజోహీనమై కనిపించుచును. So in the same lamp, if it is kept in a glass cover which is of a multi-colored one, it will give various colors, shades, and sometimes it will be bright and sometimes it will be not so bright. In many different ways it will be appearing. Mariyu oka matti kundalo pettina. So if you keep that in a mud pot, marinta andakaramai veluguno. It will become much more dark when it's kept inside a mud pot. Deepamu okate ayinanu, even though the lamp is one, daniki adaramaina upadulato, because of the implements or the other upadiments, I think yeah, different aspects of the things which are supporting it. I think like the chimney. Tana kanti yetula marpu jentuno atulane. So it will be affected by our vision will be affected by the changes in the objects which are placed around the fire, around the lamp. Sattvagunamu swachchamaina gaju pempukai pettina deepamu. So Sattva-guna is like the clear glass chimney. Vanti edaniyu. Rajogunamu aneka rangulo undina gaju mukkalapai pettina deepamu vale. So the Rajoguna is like a chimney with various colors. Pakarsha hitamai aneka rangulato kanipinchunu. So the lamp will also show up in many different colors and shades. Deepamaniyu. Tamogunamu matti kundaloni deepamu vale andakaramto undinaniyu talanchi. So the Tamoguna is like a lamp which is placed in the mud pot. Sattva-guna Atma Jnana Mayiniyu. Sattva-guna is the Atma Jnana itself. Rajogunamu Sattva-gunamu vale Tejo Rupamu Kaka. The Rajoguna is not as bright as the Sattva-guna. Malinya Bhavamulanu Pogota Kudina Deepamaniyu. So it has certain blemishes. I think that similar to a smoke. Antiye Kaka Nilakada Leka Aduchundunaniyu. Not only that, it will not be steady flame. And it will keep on flickering. Tamogunamu Andakara Mayamaina Masito Kudina Deepamaniyu. So the one which is kept in the mud pot is similar to Tamoguna, which is completely dark. Anaga modali tejamu rendavadi duma yutamagu chalinchunadaniyu. So the first one is clear flame. The second one is with smoke. Moodavadi masito cherinadiniyu talanchavalanu. the third one, the Rajoguna, is something which is completely suppressed light. Thus, we have to consider them. I'm sorry, my without Manianti's help, it was not the best. I don't know, Sai Satish, if you could have shed some light to this, it will be good. Oh, Sitaram is here. Sitaram, you're able to. I hope what I did was okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was very close.
Okay. If there's any area which you can clarify, please do so.
No, it was clear.
What is Masito Cherinadi? What is that? Masito?
Masi is that black carbon layer that forms, because of the impurities.
Okay.
Because of which sometimes it will even mask the light also, the brightness of the light.
Okay. So the Nilakada Leka Aduchundunayim, that's flickering thing, no? It's
Yes, the flickering light, which is not stable.
Okay. Okay, that's it. So I will stop here. So Swami has given the various nature of different qualities and the fact that they are always imbalanced and which affects our behavior. Sitaram, what is Gaju Mukkalapai means glass cover, is it?
Yes, and glass pieces.
Gaju is glass, no?
Yes, the glass.
Okay.
So it's just telling the brightness of light is affected by the nature of the glass. The first one is Sattva, where it is clear glass. The second one is Rajoguna, where he's telling it could be multicolored. And the third one is complete darkness because of the mud pot. And Upadlu, I think somewhere you have Upadi you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Upadi is the support system, which is like the body that we have.
Yes, thank you. I know for Upadi, we always struggle to get an equivalent English word, and we have.
Yes.
We have always. Anyone would like to?
So when it says the three gunas, if they are equal or balanced, then there will not be any change in man. So is that the state of Jivan Mukta or somebody, all their gunas are in balance?
I think so. It's sama. But I think what Swami is saying is, if you get entangled with the Prakriti, you can never make them equal because they're always imbalanced in some way or other. Only by detaching ourselves from Prakriti, not identifying with Prakriti, we can get to that state. Because Prakriti is always in a state of flux, changing continuously. That's my understanding, but I will open it up for others.
Sairam, brother, instead of sama, I think they would have put 0, that above the three gunas. Am I right, brother? Because it cannot be equal, yeah, that each one, tamas equal to rajas equal to sattvic. Cannot be, yeah? It's supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah, because in English, sama means equal. I think that's one of the meaning, at least, is equal. I think that's where they have said that.
That means supposed to be out, So, again, we are coming back, brother. So, because of three gunas, now who is enjoying? Sorrow and pleasure and everything.
Who is enjoying?
Yes.
Did Swami answer that question or Krishna answer the question?
Yeah. He said, okay, Jiva is not enjoying.
Mm-hmm.
So, pick up for an example.
But yeah, as soon as you shut off the mic.
Yes. As far suppose if you buy a diamond ring on your finger, so the finger is not enjoying.
Yes.
You have to tell the people, hey, I'm wearing a nice diamond ring. If you put a necklace, the neck is not enjoying, the body is not enjoying, your mind is enjoying. So if you do any, if
Is
some
the mind
drink,
enjoying, brother?
yeah, mind is that's what impulses, yeah. It'll be stored in the impulses eventually.
Mm-hmm. But Swami has not mentioned that mind is enjoying.
Yeah, so far it's not mentioned, but what we are assuming, because when you die, that Atma with the mind is that as a impulses, the collection of the thoughts is going back. We are coming back, whatever we have, whatever the desire we had it, that means mind. So if you think any enjoyment, so that one last time we talked about, when you look at a pretty girl and you are using that eye, looking at the girl, but the eye is not enjoying. Eye is transferring all the information to the mind. Mind is the one's going to enjoy everything. Eye is like a tool, nothing to do with that one. If you put lots of bangles on your gold bangles on your hand is not enjoying. Your mind is enjoying. Oh, I have lots of gold. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
So the next sentence, where it's Swami saying, if the qualities of guna are not in balance, then Prakriti will give up its oneness. What does that mean? The Prakriti has a oneness to it?
Yes, so see, Prakriti itself is, I think, anyway, I will open it up. Anyway, Swami is using that Ekatva, from Ekatva, it becomes Aneka. Prakriti loses its Ekatva and becomes Aneka because of the gunas. Anyone would like to? What is this oneness of Prakriti? I think that's the question Kanya is asking.
So,
anyone?
Yeah, brother. So
Yes.
if you are, because of the three gunas only, you can see the duality. If you come out from the three gunas, then you're going to see oneness.
So
Right,
is the Prakriti one? I think that's Kalyan. Am I right, Kalyan?
Yeah.
That's the question. So what is the state of one of Prakriti?
Yeah, because the Prakriti's nature is three gunas. If you
Okay.
If you come out from the three gunas, then you will see the oneness. Everything is going to be divinity.
So, okay, thank you, brother. But so Prakriti has three gunas, you said. But Swami is saying the Prakriti itself loses its oneness and becomes many. I think that's what.
Yeah, because of the three gunas, is my that because of the nature it multiplies. Because sometimes we are anger, sometimes we are sad, and everything will take multiple forms because of the gunas.
Sairam brother, I think that always these three gunas are out of balance. When it comes in a balanced state, that would meant to be the oneness. The Swami is telling that clearly. We cannot get rid of these three gunas, but we can balance it. They are always out of balance. One would be dominant, the others would be dormant. But when it comes to the balanced state, maybe that's what Swami may be referring to the oneness. But if we got rid of all these attributes, then I believe there wouldn't be any Prakriti or even the human. The human body is equivalent to the Prakriti. If we got rid of these three gunas, then there is no existence of Prakriti. Maybe the oneness, maybe in my humble opinion, it could be a very balanced state. Maybe. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sister. Because I think the Kalyanis, I will read, go back. Gunamulu chedari hecchu daggula guchundina prakriti tana eka rupamunu vadali palu vidamulagu rupamula kanipinchuchunduna. Is that's the question? No, Kalyani? Yes.
Yeah.
So Swami is saying, because the gunas are helter-skelter, I don't know, Sitaram, that's a good translation or not?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's going out of balance. The
Out
up
of
and down.
balance. Yeah. Hecchu
Hecchu taggulu. Hecchu
means
means going higher. Taggu means coming lower.
okay. So Swami is saying, because of that, this Eka Rupamu Vadali, it gives up its one form. Paluvidamulagu Rupamula Kanipinchu Chundunu. So it shows up as many forms. So Kalyani's question is, if Prakriti has gunas, what is that one form? Okay, so that means Prakriti in its original sense, must have been balanced. Is that the question, Kalyani?
Yes.
Yeah. So see, the thing is, I don't know if again Sandhya Nivarani Swami says, the one became two. But the one became two, which is Purusha and Prakriti.
Right.
Even before the gunas came into being.
Oh, okay.
Then it became. Then the three became from the two. The three became.
Uncle, doesn't he say one became three? Or
One. See, one becomes two originally. One is actually two. So then the three is gunas.
okay.
Three are born from that. Then from the three, the five are born.
Yeah.
5 elements. So in the prime original state of creation itself, there was a point when Prakriti is before the gunas itself comes into being.
That's not Purusha? You wouldn't call that just a state of being Purusha?
Yeah, because I think when Prakriti is fully attached to Purusha, it is fully one. I think that's the way I would understand. Just the way a Jivatma fully connected to the Lord will be Triguna Rahita without the three gunas. Even if we are in the body, Jivan Mukta, I think who is Pradhasan is Jivan Mukta is one who is, though in the body, because he does not identify with the body and the mind. And Swami says, human water body is like a water bubble, mind is like a monkey, mad monkey. Once you give both of them up, then that person actually reaches a oneness. But that oneness is possible only when Prakriti connects fully with the Purusha. That's the way I understand. Sorry, I will stop. Yes, Sai Satish.
I'm just trying to understand this. So
Sitaram is also okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the thing is, we have Purusha, Prakriti, Trigunas, Panchabhutas, right? And then, of course, we get into the whole thing of
Panchikaran.
Yeah, Panchikaranam, the Jivatmanam. What is that Prakriti which became two?
What is the Prakriti which became two?
That one became two, correct? That Paramatma Purusha became two. That is, both Purusha and Prakriti existed. What is that Prakriti?
Okay. Okay, you are asking a question.
Yes, sir. I'm asking the question because more of Pariprashna.
Okay, fine, sir. I think Swami, yeah, Sairam Sitaram, go ahead.
Okay. So, very nice question, Anna. Satish Anna. So, I was just reminded of that saying which Swami repeats, which is a person is not just one, right? He says you are three, but not one. One is what you think you are. Okay. The other is the other person, what others think you are. And the third one is the one who really you are, right? So if you take these three stages in that definition, Anna, I think the question you asked, right? Like, how did one become two? The one you really are, when that person gets an awareness that I am this, the one you think you are comes into play. And that's where Dvaita is coming. And when a third person is entering into that scene and he's looking at you, then one became three there. But I don't know if I'm not able to explain it rightly, but and I don't know if you're able to understand what I'm saying.
So
if you take that definition, the who you really are is the Purusha. What you think you are is because you're aware of yourself now. You're seeing yourself as a second entity, and it's a reflection of yourself. It's not a complete reflection. It can be a complete reflection if it is Triguna Rahita. But when these gunas are coming, or the other players are coming into picture, then it is becoming three. The third nature is coming, where others are seeing something which you do not see. I'll stop there.
So thanks for that, Sitaram. I'm not coming there where I'm, because there's the whole cascade of Panchi Karnam which leads to ultimately the Jivatma, right? Because it's still the process where you go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 5 to all of those 24 principles and the thing. That is where it goes through everything and lands up making the Jivatma come. So I'm not even coming to that part of where the Jivatma is now talking about Paramatma. I'm not even talking about that. I am talking about just when the one becomes two, what is the two? Because the Panchabhutas are not in existence at that time. The Trigunas are not in existence at that time. Nothing is existence other than Purusha. And now that Purusha has become Prakriti. What is that Prakriti? That is my question. You got me there? Like, I'm not even going down the path of Jivatma, who is now cognizing and asking about the Paramatma. So what is that state of being when Purusha became Prakriti?
The Sakti.
So, Sairam, brother.
Yes,
So,
brother.
the answer is within your explanation what you gave before. If you take the screen, that is the permanent, that is the absolute. What you saw on the screen is the Prakriti. That's a nature. It will take multiple, multiply and everything. But absolute, that one never going to change anything. So become 2, 3, 4, and everything is a Maya, delusion. So that is my answer.
Okay, thank you, brother. So it's about 4:30. I think we can still continue. I think Swami, I will just rewind back. I think it's one of the earliest chapters in Geetha Vahini. Swami gives the explanation, Swabhava and Swarupa. I think Swami called the Swarupa as the Prakriti and Swabhava as the Purusha or something like that. I don't know. Kalyan, you remember?
I think Swami referred to Swarupa as the Purusha. Swarupa is the Purusha and Swabhava is the
Is that? Okay.
Because I always thought it was kind of opposite because Purusha has no form. So, but Swami says Purusha.
So I think we can. I think we will continue the discussion because once we open this, but I think it's a good question, Sai Satish. I think Swami has sometimes Swami wants us to ask these questions, so we go back and refer. I think we spent a couple of weeks, if I remember, on the Swarupa and Swabhava. We'll go back to that, and it's always good to clarify these things. Let's do that next week. It's because it's 4:31 now. If everyone is okay, we'll close. Everyone can contemplate. You can look up the Geetha Vahini where he talks about Swarupa and Swabhava. and go back and read it. Then we'll meet again next week. If everyone is okay, we will close with Samasta Loka now. Sai Ram, everyone. Om Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.
Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.